Okay, this is day 14 on raw food. I'm doing 30 days raw to start with. I'm just saying it's 30 days. I feel like it's going to be longer, but I'm not going to overwhelm myself because I've done that in the past. This is coming from me. I'm a 10-year vegan, got into veganism through raw foods. Okay, so I just had this insight. So I'm being really real and raw. Not just in what I'm eating, but in the fact that I am literally, I'm a housekeeper at this like kind of hotel resort thing. And anyways, so I'm here. I'm at work. I'm folding laundry. But I had this insight because I was listening to an interview from Jillian Berry, who's very wonderful. She was not around doing videos when I first got into raw foods, and I just absolutely love her approach because I relate so much to how she is, where I've never been someone who's like, oh, this worked for me, so that must mean it's the way for everybody. Like, I just think that way of being is a lot of what turned me off or didn't help me when I started raw foods, because I got so much conflicting information and everyone was so certain that their way was the way or that you're doing it. And then, so it was like, I almost couldn't handle it because it was just like, I stopped listening to myself. So we need more people who are, or just, if you're going to try and like be an influencer of any kind, your goal is not to influence people to do what you're doing. You need to influence people to also be their own leader. Like, it's leaders leading leaders, right? So the insight came around cravings. And I had this thought because, it's a huge thing when you start eating raw, and you'll inevitably crave something. You'll have this thought of something paired with a memory, paired with like the sensation in your mouth, in your whatever it is for you, maybe your eyes, maybe just like your taste buds start to get some salivation, whatever it is. And yeah, I'm still detoxing my lungs. I've gotten the message that I need to eat more grapes right now, or start doing some stuff with grapes. But anyways, with cravings, so you'll start to have this craving, right? And then, the common advice, which I would give to somebody as well, is like, well, just eat more raw foods. And then what you find at that point of, once you've like, okay, you beat this craving, sorry. So you beat the craving in a sense, phase 1, by, let's say you grab a fruit, or you make a salad or something. Now, salads can be more satiating, especially at this point in my journey. But maybe at first, when you're just like learning about raw foods or something, you eat something and it's like, okay, yeah, now I'm not technically hungry, but I still want that. But it's like you've almost isolated the variable, because now you've nourished your body. Your body isn't really asking for it. But hold on, it's like your body's not asking for anything really, because your stomach feels full. And you're kind of like, you're neutralized here because you fed your body like the good nutrients and all this stuff, but you're still like, you're wanting to want it. And that was it's funny being at work right now. You're wanting to want it. So in my head, I've had this before, and this was the insight I just had right now, where it's like, you've isolated the variable of it just being in your mind, and now you're realizing, I'm just wanting to want this. Now, why am I wanting to want something else? Oh, because I would use it as a distraction, as a coping mechanism for an emotion. So I used it as a sort of medication, not really a medicine, right? More of a medication for whatever feeling I was feeling. Oh, I'm thinking about, I feel so unworthy. Oh, you know what sounds good? Because I'm feeling crappy because I feel like unworthy and that stuff. You know what sounds good? Pasta sauce, cooked, right? Marinara sauce with oil. Now, am I saying these things are terrible? No. What I'm saying is, we've learned to use things as not nourishment for our body in order to feed our minds well, in our minds and our spirit, but we are, sort of just using foods. And I know people say that all the time, but it was just this insight that we're actually just wanting to want these things, because if we're under the guise that we need it for nourishment, then we can distract ourselves from our emotional truth. But yeah, just wanted to share that and say, so if you are having cravings on raw, I'm not going to tell you that the craving part will go away from eating something, but at least you'll neutralize the body and you'll be able to isolate the mind. And at that point, I would go into more of a, shadow work process. So that's what I would teach somebody, or not even just teach, but that's what I would help somebody if they were doing like a session with me. It would be a matter of, okay, we're going to start up, we're going to nourish our body, we're going to feel really good. And now, okay, how are you feeling now? Now that we know we're not just going to be like, well, I need this for my body. No, now that you can feel your body is neutralized, we can isolate this mental process and emotional process and really get to work without you having as many doubts. Oh, that it's like this malnourishment thing. Okay? So anyways, much love to you all.